A couple weeks ago, I was doing a show up in Montana, and I had to stay the night. And the next morning, I had an interview at 7 a.m., so I got back to the hotel after the show, and I walked up to the little girl at the front desk, and I said, "Ma'am," I said, "could I get a 6:30 wake-up call, please?" She goes, "You want me to call your room?" "No, call the folks next door. They'll bang on the wall. That'll wake me up." Here's your sign. I had to take my wife's dog to the vet because he's allergic to grass. I know, that's like a bird being allergic to air. And I'm standing in line holding this dumb dog, and there's a lady in line in front of me, and I hear the vet say to this lady, "Give your dog one pill twice a day." And she looked at the vet and said, "How do I give him the same pill twice a day?" I said, "This is where I step in." I said, "You put it in his mouth, wait a few minutes, and run to the other end." Here's your sign. I had one happen to me during COVID. Gail and I went out to dinner one night. You remember when they take your temperature before they let you in the restaurant? Well, this little girl's just doing her job, and I'm just being a smart ass. And she's rubbing that thing on my forehead, and I said, "Oh, you taking my temperature?" She goes, "Nope, checking for morons. Found one!" And then looked at me and said, "Here's your sign." But the best one in 42 years, my wife holds position #1, and no one has come close to dethroning her. I was doing a show for 84 Lumber in a place called Seven Springs, Pennsylvania. It's a little resort. And they wanted to be a surprise for the employees that I was the entertainment, so they flew me in the night before the show on this puddle jumper airplane into this resort airstrip at night that had one light on it. And when we landed on that runway, a deer busted out of the woods and jumped in the rear front on the runway. We plowed that deer. I mean, propeller flew off, we skidded off the runway, and I called Gail and I said, "Baby, you're not gonna believe this one." I said, "We just hit a deer with our airplane." And she goes, "Oh no. Wait, were you on the ground?" I said, "Nope, Santa was making one last run." Here's your sign.
Welcome and good morning. It's the Early Morning Record Show. And look, special guest today. Well, it's the host. Cat is back. Meow. Exactly. Glad you can make it in. Please feel free to have a seat. Want to say hi? Doing better? Still going to lose all his teeth here. We're just waiting for the appointment to come up on medicine. Mix it in with a little tuna fish. Doesn't get it then. A lot of other crap, nah, he knows. That's medicine. Ain't touching it. So, waiting for a Cat to get in. Oh, hold on. Hey, yesterday, I got a lot to show today, as usual. But I just want to say, I went out and played Frisbee golf. I haven't played Frisbee golf in years. I love playing Frisbee golf. When my boys were around, we used to play a lot of Frisbee golf. Once they left, my wife doesn't really want to play Frisbee golf. But yesterday, I had some brand new Frisbees, and so I went out there, and I had a pretty good round. Now, these Frisbees, they weren't the best. You know, aerodynamically, they flew. Just, they were heavier and a little bulkier, but I had a whole bunch of them. You see, I took all my MoFi records, and I decided, after I heard all this stuff about that these are no good now, and, you know, there's, you know, what the hell's happened, and we just, you know, there was pandemonium and we're switching to cassettes, I decided to take them all out. We went to and used them for Frisbee golf. I can tell you this, the 200 gram, you can get an extra 50 feet with those. And when you hit the pole, they shatter. It's just beautiful how they shatter. Incredible. Much better than the 180 grams. So the 4 to 45 are RPM fly. So yeah, I that took care of all my MoFis, and they're all gone now. So I could care less. You know, I like them because I think these. Actually, a lot of my 45s were I bought because others said these are the best sounding records there are. When they compared them to other records. And I believe them. I still believe them. They said these are the best sounding records. They're the best sounding records. I don't give a crap. Otherwise, they're the best sounding records, so yeah. And as far as, yeah, there was, okay, so they didn't say, they changed the wording on there. Here's the thing. Have you ever bought a more expensive record and you bring it home and the spouse asks, well, how much was that? It really wasn't that much. I don't know, I got a pretty good deal. You know, maybe it is to you, but it might not be to her. But to you, it is the truth. Well, it was a pretty good deal. It wasn't that much. It might have been a lot, but it doesn't matter because you're excited about it. So, yeah, put it that way. So, yeah, kind of similar to it. Thing is, those records sound great. I'm all cool, so it's all fine. See that? Someone's going to be a grandpa. Eric and Kim expected in December. I've known for a while, but they said I couldn't announce it yet. I guess they're afraid if I announced it on YouTube, and obviously this station just blows, you know, it's everyone around the world knows it. And they wanted to wait just a little bit before it was announced to the whole world, and, you know, before social media took over. So I did my job. I waited. That's pretty good for me. So yeah, pretty excited about it. All right, we're beginning here. We're beginning. Since now I got room in my record collection, since I tossed all my MoFis at the Frisbee golf course. We're starting with this. This is in the background. You're going to be hearing this today. From Michael P Dawson, Hurtled out of heaven. Hurtled out of heaven. I think HurtleTurtled, you know, just from Dr. Seuss. Hurtled out of heaven. This is Michael's newest CD. Michael P Dawson is in the vinyl community, and he has made a number of different albums. His last one was Rat's Alley. I think it came out last year. So this one just came out, and this deals with synthesizers. He only used synthesizers. Rat's Alley was more, there was a lot more instrumentation, as Michael plays a lot of instruments, and it took quite a while to put together. It was done during COVID, but he wanted to do something totally different, and he had thought that he'd love to do a synthesizer piece, and so that's what this is about. And it follows, this is the figure of a cosmic turtle occurs in various mythologies and eras, from the ancient Hindu Akupara to Terry Pratchett's Great Atune. Hurtled out of heaven borrows its HurtleTurtled. I said HurtleTurtle. It's HurtleTurtle. HurtleTurtled. HurtleTurtled out of heaven borrows its title from James Joyce and envisions the turtle spirit as a cosmic Finnegan whose fall in a journey from interstellar space to the seas and swamps of the woodlands of Earth. It's turtles all the way down. So HurtleTurtled. Wow. Now that's a lot, huh? And there's other discographies there. You can check Michael P Dawson out on Bandcamp. I really have enjoyed this. I've been playing it in my truck. This is different. This is not my normal fare. It is all synthesizer. You have some like The Great Turtle Awakes and Cloudburst, both extremely playful. Then after each ends, something strong comes out. For instance, after The Great Turtle Awakes, in comes Energy. And it goes into a series of gas giants, particles, solar wind. This is Big Bang. So it's like the Great Turtle Awakes is like the God in the sky, and we create the universe. And so it goes through this. And when you listen to that, you can hear these different elements within the music. Then it goes to interlude. An interlude is made that it kind of bounces around your different speakers. I asked Michael, because I was communicating with Michael about this, because I was so fascinated with it, and Michael was very nice and, responded back. In interlude, is that like the free jazz of Moog? Is that called free Moog? Because it was something else. But in my car, I couldn't pick up how things bounced around. And on my speakers in the house, it's much more interesting. Side 2 goes to Cloudburst. Now the turtle, this great turtle, it's like he's down on Earth. He's a turtle. Now he's a turtle. And so Cloudburst, you just hear this rainstorm begin, and very cool, very enjoyable to hear that. And it goes to the voice of the turtle. Again, takes off. Maze in the forest of the trees. And it's just about the turtle's journey on Earth. And finally, in the forest of trees, you hear the crickets and everything else going on. Great stuff. HurtleTurtled out of heaven. HurtleTurtled out of heaven. Not HurtleTurtled out of heaven from Michael P Dawson. Really, really enjoyable. Please check out Michael P Dawson's channel. Bandcamp, this is great. Michael, thank you. Well, the opening was Bill Engvall. He came here. He's doing his this is his farewell tour. Of course, Ozzy Osbourne's been doing a farewell tour for 20 years, Rolling Stones, whatever, but he says it's his farewell tour. My wife bought tickets and decided she was going to work the event, so yeah, I just went by myself. Pretty funny. I enjoyed myself, so shared a little bit. Here we go, July. First album up for bid tonight, July. Others have shown this in the vinyl community. As usual, I was trying to think between either Cosmic Brian might have shown it, Michigan Record Club Bill, or Dom Seeking a Thread might have shown it. Or it could have been someone else. But this is from 1968, the group July, who came out of London. Formed in 68, broke up in 69. They did form again in 09, kind of sporadic. It's psych rock, psych pop. It's really kind of a mixture of both. You know, when they started out, they called themselves the Dreamers. Then they changed themselves to the Tomcats. Then they moved to Spain and they called themselves Los Tomcats. I gotta, give you that little extra Spanish touch. They finally settled on July in 68, and Spencer Davis was their manager. And so they put out this album, which has taken on mythical status, and to get an original is going to cost you $1 billion. So, the first two songs were put out were 45s, and then they did this thing. This was heavily influenced by San Francisco Psych. That's where they were taking a lot of their inspiration. Very 60s Psych. You can really hear it. I think side 1 is better than side 2. I really like the side 1 on here. I was looking, there was a couple. There's one song, because side 2, it starts with To Be Free, which I really, really enjoyed. But then it said Move On, Sweet Flower. And personally, I just thought, just move on this song because it sucks. And you get that with these, psych albums. It's not all good. They're trying to come up with something. There's the song called The Way, which when you listen to it, is like a freak out LSD trip. Now, I don't know from personal, just from what I've read, but that's what it seems like. Fun album. I enjoyed it. Nothing special in there, just black vinyl, I guess, but July. A Psych. 60s Psych.
Come meet the rain.
Next album was on my want list for a long time. Close Lobster. And I have looked for this for ages and ages. And when I was in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the Green Light Records, there it was. I went back a second time to Green Light Records. They had a second copy there. I should have bought it just because it took forever to find it. But here it is, Close Lobster. Close Lobster from Scotland. And I don't know, George Scott Spinner, maybe you were in Close Lobster, I don't know. Formed in 85, broke up in 89, again formed in 2012, This is, I'm really like this. This is like neo psych jangle pop. I kind of within both of those. The name of the album is Foxhead Stalk This Land. Foxhead Stalk, yeah. The name Close Lobster. So they're trying to come up with a band name when they were forming. One person said Close. Another one said, well, why not the Lobsters? And so they couldn't decide. So, well, let's just call ourselves Close Lobster. Ta-da! That's what we call working together as a team to come up with stuff. This is jangle pop. There's kind of a little like hazy psych in here. Monster guitar riffs. Really good stuff. It's just really neat. The lyrics, I don't know what the hell they're saying. They're really cryptic. The music's similar to, you take like the Smiths, the Byrds, Buzzcocks. If you put that together, you're going to get something like this. You have the one song on here. Whoa, let's see. I Kiss the Flower in Bloom, and you swear REM. I mean, it's just like, you make this for REM. You know, again, that jangly kind of rock pop type sound. Perfect REM song. I'm going to play it just Too Bloody Stupid. Just because the title's fun, but very excited that I got this. The inner sleeve, this is pretty cool. Enigma, isn't that? On the plastic, I just think that's kind of neat. And then, of course, we have all the great things that you can buy from Enigma. So, a great find for me. So happy to see that. The next two. I bought these in Savannah, Georgia. That's how far back I'm going. You know, I'm telling you, I got stuff from last year I haven't shown you. Some just gets filed. This is the Liars. Liars is a band out of Boston, formed in '79, still going on. This is part of the garage rock revival that happened. They originally this band was formed by Jeff Connolly. They had the kind of college radio hits, Don't Give It Up Now and Help You In. Both exciting garage rock classics of the 80s. So good. And Jeff Connolly, he was lead vocalist in the organ. And the organ really is what makes it. Now, I'm not talking Jimmy Smith organ. I'm talking garage rock organ. Really cool stuff. So, huge band of that underground movement. Their first band was called DMZ. Similar sound, but more punk. And so in '79, they formed Liars to kind of get some of that punk aspect was gone. This is their very first. This is their first EP. It's called AHS 1050 is what they call it. And I had an original, but obviously washed out. I have always loved the Liars. And there it is off that HS. What's that? The Ace of Hearts records. And so there's my original. Now I have a second one. And great EP. This came out in 1981. This is a live album. This is a bootleg. It sounds really good. I'm going to give you a sample of each of these, but I was really happy to get the bootleg. go over to Africa. And here we got Chrissy Zebby Timbo. That's a cool name. My name is Chrissy Zebby Timbo. I mean, it just has a nice sound to it. He is the drummer of the Ngozi family. And he put out this album in 76, which is just incredible. 75, 76, incredible years. That's the peak of Zamrock. This is packed with fuzz guitar, African beats, and the vocals aren't that bad. His vocals are better than Paul Ngozi. Man, that coffee's making me belch a lot. Holy cow. Ultra catchy tunes, really is. But with the fuzz is front and center. Paul Ngozi's on guitar, and that he is just fuzzed out everywhere. It's raw, it's rough at times, but it is so outstanding. Boy, you can't go wrong with this. This is a great example. This is a great example of Zamrock. Melding, how Zamrock melded together the guitars from that was going on in the UK and the US with African rhythms. So he takes his drumming, which is phenomenal, and then the fuzz. This is heat. Great Zamrock. If you're looking for a Zamrock, Chrissy Zebby Timbo and Ngozi. My Ancestors is the name of the album. My Ancestors. Cool stuff. Vinyl Me Please sent me this. We have Johnny Taylor. This is his first album, Wanted, One Soul Singer. And there's the little Vinyl Me Please booklet in here, but I'm not going to try to find it in there. So Johnny Taylor, he's really known. He replaced Sam Cooke in the Soul Stirrers in 1957. When Sam Cooke decided to go pop, Johnny Taylor came in and took over for him. Thing is, eventually Johnny Taylor wanted to make a name for himself. And the gospel circuit, you were big, you were popular within the gospel ranks, but you're not going to get rich, you're not going to have your name out there, you're not going to be filling them up, you're not going to get as many chicks, okay? It doesn't look good if you're doing all this gospel and you're taking all the girls backstage. So, he wanted to make a name for himself. Legend has it he flipped a coin. Heads to Motown, tails to Stax. He wound up going to Stax. And so he went to Stax Records. And his voice is perfect for it. He has a bluesier voice, kind of a bluesy, soulful voice. And this was his first album that came out in 1967. Now, his second album, he had the hit, Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady While You Were Out Late Last Night? That was his hit, Johnny Taylor. This is pure sax, man. Listen to the horns in here. The Memphis horns are just fantastic. His voice is gritty, and it does have such the soulful blues type feel. It's a mixture of ballads and faster paced songs. I obviously like faster pace because, I just love the way the horns come in. But great soul music. Vinyl Me Please does a good thing. Was it done analog or not? I don't know. We'll have to find out. If not, I'm going to toss it out like a frisbee. But super good stuff. Very, very nice. Good crap from Vinyl Me Please.
Hold
I did a trade with Benny DJ, and I sent him a record, and he sent me, this is the second album from the 3 O'Clock. And the 3 O'Clock, great group. You can see there, off IRS. This is the first album they did from IRS. And part of the Paisley Underground. Formed in 81, broke up in 88. I think they were an LA band. Or were they London? Now I can't remember. Oh well, doesn't matter. And they actually recorded this one when they were in Germany. The music on here, it's very unpretentious, but it's joyous, it's uplifting. A little bit wimpy, you might say, but it's pure power pop. Just great stuff. It can be maybe a little slick with the arrangements, but not like what you hear in the 80s. It's still great music. The 3 O'Clock is something I really like. Great organ again. And it's almost like a churchy organ in there, but it adds to that music. It really makes it go. They had kind of the MTV hit, Her Head's Revolving. Go and play a sample, a little bit of that. I guess it was on MTV. I missed it personally, but this is just fun music. Part of that Paisley Underground. The 3 O'Clock's a big part of the Paisley Underground. Really, really liked it. Final one, and we're done here. This is from First Aid Kit. I special ordered this First Aid Kit live tribute to Leonard Cohen. And oh, look at that, there's a little booklet that came with it. Did I smash that booklet? No, it's supposed to be, no, it's a poster. It's a poster that came with it, okay? And so it has this poster in here. I hated it. I thought it sucked. I like First Aid Kit a lot. This thing, as soon as I began putting it on, I could have fallen asleep. I don't mind Leonard Cohen, but they make his songs so, their harmonies are beautiful, but my God, it's just like slow motion. Holy cow. And then they recite poetry. They're reciting, I don't want to listen to someone reciting poetry. Yeah, I didn't like it. So I had never seen this, and suddenly I don't know how it popped up, and so I went to their website and ordered it. And oh well, there you go. Yeah, whatever.
The night beside her, and you know that she's half crazy, but that's why you wanna be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. Just when you mean to tell her that you have no love.
Yeah. All right, that's it. The future grandpa, December. Thanks you for coming in. I'm sweating to death because the cat's still on me. I got a fur rug on me right now, but thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Yeah, of course, it'll be a midweek. I think I'll do a couple contest entries. We'll jump them together so I don't get out too many videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.